Well, the big bear has not protested too much about being locked up in here tonight. He barked a little bit last night. Not too much. I know. Definitely ready to be out though. You ready to go? Yeah. We kept him in here last night because his invisible fence collar is broken, which I desperately need to get fixed. And the fence is down. If you know anything about Pyrenees, they are wanderers. Kind of think the world is their oyster and they don't understand that like this is where they live. Which is why he's on an invisible fence that has worked brilliantly for us. But until we get that back fence up, we're gonna have to lock him up at night so that he doesn't decide to go for a romp. Is it breakfast time for Keith? Yeah, hi. A little fresh. We hit the reset button with your food yesterday. Oh, yes. You just need some love. Whoa. They're also very territorial. Must check out all the things. Playing this morning. It's nice out. Well, we wore ourselves out yesterday with all the fence work that we did. So don't know if we're gonna do anything today. Jeremy just went to go buy a new tool. If that works out, we'll show that to you. Good morning, Shadow. Good morning. Yeah? Do you like the lawnmower? You like the lawnmower? No. Are you playing? Kittens are out here. Just like one happy kitty cat family. All right, let's get the noisy girls taken care of. Somebody has some rather thick poop. It's a grown-up goat. Probably Famacha everybody this morning to kind of see so that we can see if anybody needs to be wormed. It may just be that they've been on this really rich pasture for 2 days that they haven't been on. We'll see. Back up. Oh, no waffles. Waffles. Come on, buddy. Come on. Come on. Come on, Waffles. Oh. Here we go. Here we go. These goobers are complaining because there's food somewhere and they can't get it. You just had breakfast and you're gonna have more snacks here in a minute. You are, you're gonna have more snacks. There's no reason to yell. That worked out much better yesterday. It's nice to have a third day this week to get them out in the back. This looks like Daisy poop. We'll have a look at her. Always a little bit more cautious in August because they've been on pasture for so long. There's no real reason. Cheeto. What are you doing, buddy? Had to let go of the gate. No, just like, yep, there we go. Because August is such a hard time for us with parasites, so we'll just check everybody. So today I would tell you guys a little bit about my breeding plans. We're still probably a month away from starting to breed. I really try to breed everybody for late February into March, April at the latest. We're breeding more girls this year, and I'm even kind of debating waiting for Padme and Poppy this year and breeding them for fall instead of breeding them this year, because I'm just gonna have so many goats birthing this spring, and just with some changes that are coming, just an added complication for us. So I thought I'd talk about my plans for who to pair with who and why. Some of the pairings that we do aren't negotiable because some of the goats are too closely related, but we'll talk about how everybody's related and how all that's gonna work. All right, boys and moos, how is everybody today? Bubbles is so laid back. We were talking today about trying to figure out a way to keep the cows out of the goat house. In the winter, it's always such an issue. Calves get in there and they poop. Goats don't really have a dry place to be because they muck it up. I think we're gonna work on putting a calf creek feeder that we have in front of it so that the goats could go through, but the cows couldn't. That way the goats like have their own house and I don't have to worry about them ruining bedding that I put in there in the winter. We try to keep that kind of packed with straw for them in the winter, but the cows just ruin it. All right, let's get the big girls moved. Let's get the big girls moved. Here we go. Okay, we'll feed the kitty cats. Piece of cat food. I thought it was a bug. There's been so many bugs, but since we mowed yesterday, definitely have had fewer bugs, which is nice. They get stung a couple of times yesterday though. That was not fun. Here we go. Come on, Dad. Go see if we can figure out who has the gross poop. Worm them if they need it. Cheeto's already over there with them. He's so funny. I think that's gonna be fun. The bigger he gets, he really gets to where he likes being with the goats. Shadow and Dottie pretty much stay together all the time. He's also a boy cat, so he's just a little bit more adventurous. Okay, it's not you that has the poop. You look fine. I think it's you. I don't know. Let's see. That looks clean. And it's chunks. Oh, that's fine. Oh, your booty's clean too. Okay, so I guess we're just gonna watch everybody. I'll do that. But let's talk about breeding. Daisy can be bred to either Luke or Bean. We will probably choose Luke because he's a little bit more aggressive. That's really what she needs. Bean is a little bit more laid back, so he probably will not have a lot of luck with her. We always breed Cece and Zelda to Bean because they are a little bit more closely related to Luke. And Nani and Bunny always get bred to Luke because they're a little bit too close genetically to Bean. The very first year we bred Nani, oh, I stepped on a kitty. I'm sorry. You're under Mama's feet. We didn't see you. Bunny had kind of a weird hairless kid that had no eyeballs. It's very creepy and strange. We've bred to Luke and not had that problem. She and Nani are half sisters, so we just kind of go that route. Poppy's dad is Bean, so she has to be bred to Luke. We would not breed Tink, obviously, because she's too small. Padme's dad is Luke, so she has to be bred to Bean. Fern won't be bred this year because she's too young. Pepper is a boy. So really the goats that we have options with are Daisy. Again, we're probably gonna try Luke with her. Twizzy and Pixie are my three that I really can make choices with. And every year I had always bred Twiz to Bean. She tends to throw babies that look the exact same. So every baby that she's had from Bean has looked exactly like Bean, or has been red, kind of like Nani but darker. Pixie we had never bred with either, but given these color combinations that we're getting from Luke and Pixie, probably gonna rebreed her to Luke for a second year, and probably gonna rebreed Twiz to Luke for a second year as well, just because flashy goats are a little bit easier to sell than the solid colored. We're not keeping anybody out of this season at all. We don't have space. All the changes that we're making, it's just not practical for us to keep anybody for another year or two. So when I'm thinking about breeding, I'm not only thinking genetic combinations, but I'm also thinking about color and babies that are gonna be easy to sell. Everybody on our farm has great genetics. We're gonna try some milk testing this year maybe with Zelda, maybe with some of the other girls, we'll see, to see who our best girls are. That way down the line with Padme and Fern, we're gonna see what improvements Luke was able to make. I'd love to keep a bean daughter, which would be Poppy. Poppy can't be registered because she's 3/4 Nigerian, 1/4 Nubian. It's also a reason why I haven't bred her. Couldn't sell the babies. And is it worth all of that? She's kind of smaller. She's not had great health. If I do breed her, we may wait until fall and breed her with Zelda in the fall again. And Padme, we may wait and breed for fall again. And that would mean Fern, Poppy, Padme, and Zelda would all be on the fall rotation. And that would give me 4 girls on the fall rotation and 5 or 6 girls on the spring rotation. If I breed everybody that I can breed, I would have 8 girls. Kidding. And I just don't think that's practical. And we're talking about 6, which is a lot. Most that we've ever done. 5 is the most that we've usually done. So right now, for sure, we are gonna breed Twiz, Daisy, Pixie, Bunny, Nani, and Cece for this spring. We may hold off with Padme and Poppy until fall, and we have to wait on Fern. We may try to breed her in the fall. Padme will be 2 if we could wait until breed her for fall. She would be 2 before we bred her. Nani was 2 before we bred her, and that worked really great. Pixie was 3. It was about a year late, but she was a slow grower. Fern is growing much better and faster than Pixie, so I think she'll be ready for either this spring or next spring to breed. So that's our plan. We're gonna try to breed this big girl. She has just some funky hormone things, so I don't know that we'll be successful. What we're probably gonna do is take her and put her over with Bean and Luke for a month or 2 and give her a real good shot at it. For Bean, we'll only have Cece to breed and maybe Daisy, and we'll breed Luke with everybody else. But then in the fall, Bean will have Padme and Zelda, and Fern all have to be bred, will all be bred to Bean. And Poppy has to be bred to Luke if we breed her. I don't know how to sell babies. All my girls are registered. She would make an excellent milker. Daisy has one of the best udders, and Violet, her daughter, had a really great udder. I just don't know. I can't breed goats that I can't sell their babies. Don't need really 10 goats worth of milk. We're kind of over our limit as far as what we need for milking goats, but we have them staggered with age, so we'll kind of rotate them off. They're all about 4 or 5 years old. They have about 4 to 5 more years of breeding left in them. We'll see where we are in 5 years, see where YouTube is in 5 years, and see how all of that works. So it does look like there's several of them that could use a dose. Cece, Daisy, Twiz, Nani, I'm gonna guess Pixie. Could probably all use a dose of wormer, so we'll do that tonight. It is really hard to worm like Pixie and Daisy out here in the open because they know when you bring the wormer out what it is and they will run from you. It's a little bit easier to lock them in a stall and worm them. So we will do that this evening. This time of year, I'm probably worming somebody every 6 weeks until we get into November, because we're in that weird stage where they're really still eating pasture. We're not feeding hay yet. The pastures are dying. There's high worm loads. A little bit more cautious, probably August through, like I said, about November is the worst time of the year for us. So. Goats are all like, let's go, it's time, it's dark outside. They got out again today, and Cece and Tink ended up at the front door. You should follow me on Instagram so that you can see hijinks that I missed filming. Actually working on editing Wednesday's video, so I didn't have the SD card in the camera and the batteries were charging. It was funny though, because I heard all this bumping and I looked up and I see Cece standing at the door. And we have privacy film on our door so she could just see her reflection, but I could see her and Tink Still not entirely sure how she got out. Like, I understand how Tink got out. Everybody else was just in the backyard, but it was funny. Dog, no. I've just given up. He just digs a hole no matter what I do. A crater. Kind of stinks, but this is all going to turn back into hay storage here in a few weeks anyway. What will deter some of the digging. Go feed the moose. Like, our plans are ever changing for calves. Maybe one day we'll decide what exactly to do with them. Spoiled rotten. Sheepers! There he comes. There's Munchies-gram. Big girls have tolerated those boy goats for a long time. I mean, really, they've lived with them almost their whole life. Chief was one that he lived with the girls quite a bit this spring till we had goat babies, and then we moved him. They always start out with the girls because they're stalls and they're a place to pin them up, and then usually move over to the boys. That's my dancing giraffe. We bought a gas-powered T-post driver today, and we started it, tested it out, and I'm excited to be able to use that on all this new fencing that we're putting up. I didn't really work outside a lot today. Got pretty sunburned yesterday. My own fault. Hello! How are Piggle Wiggles? Mom came to say night-night. Night-night, Piggle Wiggle. Night-night, pig. Night-night. Oh, Sugar Pig. Oh, goodness. That's the best spot, isn't it, bud? Night-night, Waffles. Night-night, buds. Yeah. We can say night-night to the goats. Good night, Lane. Alright, night-night, guys. Alright, night-night, Daisy. Night-night, Wizard. Oh, doesn't want night-nights. Good night. Night-night, pregnant mama. Are you two battling it out? Okay. Night-night, Tinkerbell. Night-night, Pepperoni. They do not care. Night-night, sweet girl. Night-night. Night-night, pretty girl. Night-night. Night-night, best friend. Night-night, puppy girl. Right. Good night, ladies. Good night. This is a piece of cat food. I thought it was a bug. This is what you do, right? You go around checking people's behinds. Let's go. It's time. It's dark outside. Moo!